Hello and thank you for tuning in. I'm Davia Chambers and this week we're at the White House Villa in Bonaccord. If you please, we're going to give you a 3-story tour of this enchanting home, plus the latest news in this edition of Let's Talk Tobago. First, here are headlines of our top stories. The school nutrition program expands. The island's been voted as a best destination and the latest push in a clean Tobago. These stories and more when Let's Talk Tobago continues. We're visiting the White House Villa today. It was built in 1986 by Kendrick Passad, a Trinidadian architect who also resides in London. Now here's an interesting fact about your little loved ones. A child's brain is hungry, it needs food, and with a proper lunch, he or she will perform better in school. We start with our lead story.
These are just a few of the hundreds of children now receiving free lunches since the new school year started. In addition to the primary and the secondary schools who already receive lunches, 10 schools were added to the list by the school nutrition unit.
It allows them to get on board on this mantra, this nutrition education that encourages them to have a change in lifestyle so they can reculturize their approach to eating as well as to making healthy meal choices.
The new schools include 1 technical vocational institution, 1 private primary school, and 8 early childhood centers. Their inclusion in this service, that's under the Division of Education, Youth Affairs and Sport, ensures that they receive at least 1 balanced meal a day that can help in their development.
Students are now given a hot lunch that is 1/3 of the nutritional requirements that students ought to have for healthy growth, that's physical growth, as well as for cognitive development.
But there's another advantage to this. The division found that there's a link between the provision of meals and decreased absenteeism.
We found that at most of the schools, if not all, the attendance on the first week has indeed increased as well. The last week of school, when after tests, we felt many parents would have taken away students from the school, they are attending as well. So we can safely say that we've seen a correlation of feeding and attendance regularly at schools.
In addition to the free lunches, the school nutrition unit also provides lectures to students to help them make better dietary choices outside of school. The nutrition unit plans to include more early childhood centers into the program so that all our island's children can develop healthier lifestyles from a very young age. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
I have to say, this mini jacuzzi is more my style because the deep end on this pool is pretty deep, 10 feet to be exact, but it's all perfect for lounging poolside with friends and family. We have the latest on what's going on in Scarborough. An exciting new living history project is afoot. Take a look.
As a tourist, you like to explore the country you visit, learn about its history and culture. And Tobago has lots of that to offer. A package that will be enhanced by the new Cultural Heritage Trail this island is working on.
It's due to start from the Esplanade, where persons would be oriented. Following that, the next stop would be at the cannons on the port there that dates back to the 17th century. From the cannons, one come up this way, and you have the electrical plant, the mailboxes, the fountain on the port.
That's just bits and pieces of the Scarborough Heritage Trail that the Division of Tourism and Transportation is currently working on as this island taps into the niche market of cultural heritage tourism. But before that, Historical items in the capital have to be restored. These two mailboxes, the wall that separated them, and an electrical plant, all in the same vicinity. That's Custom Street, Scarborough.
In terms of the electrical building, I'll be brief as possible. This building dates back to, I think, the 20th century, 19 something, when the Scarborough port they needed to have a beacon or electricity, especially at night, so that navigating ships would know where the port was. The mailboxes, there was a post office here, and for better communication or to receive mails.
The restoration works here started in August and is due to be completed by this month end. So when these sheets of galvanized are removed, what you will see is history looking brand new. The Division of Tourism and Transportation's intent is to offer a different and unique visitor experience that is of high value. I'm Keishon Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
From the beautifully decorated dining room to the specially imported wood used throughout the property, White House Villa is a showstopper. We're here to shed light on this next situation because no matter what it is, driving, walking, waiting on public transportation, or which street you are on, no one should be in the dark.
The installation of new streetlights in Mason Hall. What's happening here is a microcosm of a larger plan for Tobago. When it's done, the northern, eastern, western, and the central parts of this island would have benefited from new streetlights.
Tobago is growing not just in terms of commercial activity but in terms of residential activity as well. And as more housing developments take place and villages grow, we need streetlights for security of the residents as well as just in terms of ambience. We also have more streetlights on the road network for road safety as well.
The TNTEC works closely with the Division of Infrastructure and Public Utilities. That division identifies the areas on the island that are in need of new lights or upgrades, information which is passed to the Commission for action. Then there's a process of internal surveys, verification and approval.
In terms of the areas that we have installed lights, we have installed 60 lights over the last 3 weeks. And those 60 lights were spread in areas of such as Bethel, Lambeau, Lansforme, Paratouvier, Bloody Bay, Mount Irving, Spring Garden.
Funding for street lighting projects in Tobago comes from the Tobago House of Assembly. Thus far, the Assembly has invested about $1.1 million. And as more projects come on stream, they would pay according to the job that is coming up and the scope of the job.
TNTEC is also working on infrastructure along the North Side Road, going as far as Bloody Bay. This project will facilitate the installation of lights in that area. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
I have some good news, and here's a hint. It's about green Tobago. Okay, I'll tell you the rest when Let's Talk Tobago returns.
Going to Barbados? Why continue to pay high prices when you can get there for only US $231.95, all taxes included? Yes, you heard right. You can now travel to Barbados from Tobago for a mere US $231.95 on Gold's weekly service. So if you're going to Barbados for business, the beach, crop over, or attending university, stop wasting your money on those other high-priced airlines and get there for a fraction of the cost. To book, just log on to www.vogel.com.br. Barbados just got closer.
Welcome back. We're in Bon Accord, not far from the Shade nightclub. It's peaceful here, and the modern design of this villa is quite grand. Speaking of all things beautiful, she is beautiful. And by she, I mean Tobago. If you're not already here, you may be booking a flight after this story.
Tobago's main ridge forest reserve. It's the oldest protected rainforest in the Western Hemisphere, stemming from an ordinance for its protection dating back to 1776. Nature lovers enjoy this evergreen forest that covers 9,780 acres of tropical rainforest. This biodiverse feature takes up 2/3 of the island, making it an ideal space for those who want an eco-holiday. Another eco-feature on the island that makes it stand out as the best for a nature holiday is the waterfalls. The Argyle waterfall is the most popular, with cool water cascading down 3 tiers to form pools of varying depths. The island's beaches are another attractive feature that visitors love and make the island a perfect place for a nature holiday. Tourists enjoy white sand and waters which range from clear, like that of the Pigeon Point Beach, or turquoise to emerald, such as those at Scarborough, Englishman's Bay, or Pirates Bay in Charlottesville. The Nyland Pool, a naturally forming meter-deep swimming pool just behind the Buku Reef, is a good place for those who want a pleasant bath with soft, clean sand. The underwater attractions of the reefs at Buku and Speyside are great places for snorkelers and divers. Besides lounging at the beach and soaking up the sun, visitors can enjoy leatherback turtle nesting. That occurs from March to August annually. Tourists can watch this species lay nightly along beaches such as Turtle Beach, Hope Bay and Killigwin Bay. The activity makes the island one of the most important marine turtle nesting grounds in the Western Hemisphere. These are just some of the reasons Trinidad and Tobago got the best destination for nature holidays from the 2015 Telegraph Caribbean Travel Awards. It's also validation for the Tobago House of Assembly that invests heavily in various programs to ensure that the island's natural environment is preserved for both locals and tourists to enjoy for generations to come. I'm Omadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Jam-packed with books, the library at White House sends guests on all kinds of journeys other than Tobago's beaches or hiking through the rainforest, of course. When you show new friends the beauty of the island, they will tell their friends who will visit and tell their friends and so on. And that's a simplistic way of saying what is being done right now in tourism.
The beauty of Tobago is something that captured the attention of these tour guides as they visited a few of the island's natural attractions. And Argyle Waterfall in particular seemed to make an impression.
Tobago's quite pretty, and I've experienced the lush greenness of Tobago. It's one of the unspoiled islands still remaining in the Caribbean.
As they journeyed through the waterfalls, one thing in particular caught their eyes: the bamboo art. They eagerly gathered around the artist's table.
The lushness of Tobago, the greenery, all the lush vegetation, the lush forests. Tobago is one of the greenest islands I've ever visited, and I trust that the people of Tobago will continue to cherish, what they have, because they have something that is quite unique to the rest of the Caribbean.
The group also visited restaurants, hotels, the cocoa estate, and healing with horses. Water sports made their to-do activities as well. All in all, they spent just over a week experiencing firsthand what this island offers so they can better sell Tobago to the UK, this island's largest source market. Earlier this year, the Division of Tourism and Transportation reported a 100% growth in international arrivals to Tobago for the just concluded winter season. Then, the division publicly committed to continue investing in more activities that will increase visitor arrivals to this island. I'm Keyshawn Wilson for Let's Talk Tobago.
A 4-bedroom villa, the White House is ideal for families and couple friends. We may all serve as examples for each other. We can celebrate those areas that bring us together for a common good and admire what makes us unique to others. And in the end, we're better for our efforts and proud of where we come from.
Scarborough, a quiet fishing village in the north of Tobago. Its idyllic atmosphere and lush greenery makes it one of the top places for tourists to visit. It's also an ideal space for the development of community tourism. And one way to maintain this kind of tourism is to ensure the village is clean. As such, the Scarborough Tourism Development Association's first project was to provide the community with bins that are more durable. Their members got their hands dirty and built the bins. So far, 3 are done, with hopes to build 2 more.
Our main objective is to promote the awareness of the environment and also to protect and develop responsible and sustainable tourism. We came up with the criteria that we need to keep the village clean. As a village that is heavily invested in tourism, and one of the main things is to have the village as clean as possible.
The association consists of about 30 members ranging from restaurateurs, guest house owners, tour operators, village council members and fisher folks. It came into existence about 6 months ago following a meeting that was held between the villagers and the Division of Tourism and Transportation on the development of community tourism in that area. The division saw the village as the model for this niche tourism, and the members of the association understand the benefits of their initiatives in helping attract more tourists.
As villagers or as stakeholders, you would want to create a good impression for your visitors, because most of us, that's our bread and our butter. So therefore, we engage in this process to have our village clean, so that when the tourists come, they meet a clean village.
In addition to bringing more tourists to Castara, there are plans by the division to include more villages in this type of tourism. The community-based organization plans to address the wastewater system in the community and train the younger ones in dealing with foreigners. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
The reality is you may know someone who's a substance abuser. The good news is there is help. Stay tuned for more information after the break.
The Tobago House of Assembly has a plan, the Comprehensive Economic Development Plan, CEDP, and it is for all of us. Are you ready to benefit from higher levels of development in Tobago and a higher standard of living?
We ready!
The priority areas are branding Tobago, clean, green, safe and serene, business development and entrepreneurship.
Are you ready?
Human capital development.
I'm ready.
Social development and resilience.
I'm ready.
Improved infrastructure and utilities. Enhanced safety and security.
I'm ready.
Environmental sustainability. Tourism.
Are you ready?
Marine resources and forestry.
Are you ready?
Good governance and institutional reform.
The CEDP is ready. Join us and get on board.
Let's travel the island, straight back to my land, even to Thailand.
I'm Davia Chambers and you're watching Let's Talk Tobago. Now listen to this gem. The furnishings at White House are family heirlooms. Yes, they've been passed down from generation to generation. This next story could be life-changing if you or a loved one is headed down a destructive path with drugs and alcohol. If you don't know where to turn, know that you're not alone. You can talk to someone and seek treatment. I repeat, you're not alone.
Cigarettes, alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine were essential to Trevor Joseph. He was addicted to these substances for more than 3 decades before finding help at the Tobago Rehabilitation and Empowerment Centre, a place that gives him the space and tools he needs to put his life back together.
I really wanted that difference in life because I started to feel fed up. I feel that I got hurt somebody, I got end up in jail. I've been to jail already. I feel that somehow you have some kind of effect on me longer because I started to feel unstable. I started to feel nervous. I started to feel like things itching me. And when I end up in the hospital, I end up telling the doctor all these kind of things. I feel like things walking on my skin. I tell me, no, nothing wrong with your skin. It's your nerves.
Like Trevor, Dion D'Souza was a polyaddict. That's someone who uses 3 or more groups of addictive substances for over a year. In fact, he started his drug use very young and reached his end point when he attempted to commit suicide. He's grateful for a sanctuary that allows him to get his life together.
Coming here, most addicts think that this rehabilitation center is about medication, but it's about therapy.
The Rehabilitation Centre offers individual counseling, group and occupational therapy. Addicts in need of help can stay anywhere between 6 weeks to 9 months and are offered life skills training while there.
For many years, Tobago has been clamoring for a rehab center in Tobago because persons affected by substance abuse in Tobago have had to go to Trinidad to acquire treatment and rehab services. So that after years of agitation and trying and, putting all the pieces together, finally we have something at home.
The centre is a project of the Division of Health and Social Services and was launched last year. It provides Tobagonians who are struggling with drug use a much-needed environment on this island where they can be reintegrated into society and acquire vocation and social skills. I'm Josanne Brassi for Let's Talk Tobago.
Imagine your family reunion taking place right here. The DJ could go there and the food table over there. And by the way, we're on the rooftop of this 3-story villa. Okay, I'm feeling school mode, so pop quiz. What are white goods? Don't worry, I'll tell you. White goods are household items such as refrigerators, washing machines, and air conditioners. Now, commit that to memory and let's clean up.
When heavy consumer durables or white goods are no longer usable, we usually put it outside. But who is expected to get rid of it? Well, that's where the Division of Health and Social Services comes in. They ensure that those items are picked up frequently and disposed of in keeping with environmental guidelines. Hence, the third installation of the island-wide cleanup campaign, which got started in late September.
We are progressing quite nicely. We are being hindered in some areas by persons who are now looking to put out refuse after we would have asked them, to have them placed out at least the day before. This program that we are doing today is actually the third one for the year. Right? We have done two other similar programs. This is the third, and we have another one which will probably be scheduled for December of this year.
If these items remain on our streets, they can negatively impact our health. Clean surroundings minimize the threat of contracting any illness.
Time and time again that we have a large number of white waste being put out on the streets for collection that are not normally or usually collected by the regular garbage trucks. Hence we would have started to do these island-wide cleanups to try to get rid of some of these white waste from the premises, as when they are kept on your premises, they can cause harborage for rodents, provide a breeding place for mosquitoes and other vermin. So it is essential for us to do it periodically.
So they're journeying around the entire island to ensure that Tobago lives up to its mantra of being clean, green, safe and serene.
The trucks are scattered. We have trucks at present working in Charlottesville, Roxborough, Belgarden, Hope, John Dial. So we are spread out and we are all working, going in. So we are communicating by way of phones. We have other officers who are supervising trucks in other areas.
The cleanup exercise ended in the southwest of Tobago. I'm Caroline Wallace for Let's Talk Tobago.
I'm outside where you could be, surrounded by flower gardens. What a treat. 3 cheers for the Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival. It celebrates Caribbean film and has grown tremendously since inception. And what about Tobago, you might ask? Here's what's happening.
We don't put no coloring, no thing and nothing to enhance nothing.
It's all about mud. Well, all about Mud Mass to be more precise. A signature event that occurs at the end of Tobago's Carnival celebrations. The 13-minute documentary was directed by Tobagonian filmmaker Kyron Reed. It arose from his curiosity with this annual event, which starts in his community of Calder Hall and ends in Scarborough. He wanted to know why thousands of people participate every year. This curiosity produced a piece that's not only a part of the lineup for this year's Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival, but it's one of the picks for the People's Choice Award.
I think the reality ain't really set in as yet. I think seeing it on the big screen, I think that is when the reality will set in. But the feeling is kind of great to see that a small production, a DSLR camera, a couple microphones, an editing station can allow it to actually excite enough people enough to nominate the film and then allow it to be screened on the big screen in the theater.
Connected took 2 years to produce, and just as with Kyron's first documentary that he entered in the film festival in 2014, this one showcases an aspect of the island's culture.
A lot of us taking part in the culture, and I don't think we understand why we're really doing it or why it is important to us. So as simple as the mud, a lot of people play the mud every year, and they literally don't know why they're part of the festive part of the mud. But within Connected itself, it will actually give you the opportunity to understand why we all take part in mud and why it piqued my interest, why it piques everybody's interest.
The screening times in Tobago for this documentary are September 26th at 3 p.m. and September 29th at 5:30 p.m. Films such as Kyron's are encouraged by the TTFF since they foster greater appreciation for local content.
The Trinidad and Tobago Film Festival for the last 10 years has definitely been giving local, especially Tobagoan filmmakers, a voice. And I think with the help of myself included and all other Tobagoan filmmakers who have made it to the festival, we're sort of letting other Tobagoans realize, hey, our stories are great. People want to hear our stories.
In addition to Connected, patrons will also get the chance to see other films from the Caribbean region and around the world, such as Trafficked, Pendulum, and Repercussions, an African Odyssey. This year, the film screenings on the island run from September 23rd to 29th at Movie Town in Lowlands. Since the events start on the island, the THA has facilitated community screenings and film production workshops in collaboration with the Film Festivals Committee. I'm Umadara Mills for Let's Talk Tobago.
Now it's time for you, our viewers, to have your say. A clean Tobago takes me and you Tobago. Earlier we spoke about a cleanup campaign. So how are you getting involved? What are you doing to help the island-wide cleanup campaign? We asked you, and this is what you said.
I put out my old stuff, when like old stove or old sewing machine, all them things, I put it aside so when the truck passed, they could get it.
If you have any old stuff, anything old that you're not using, and you may want to put out and get picked up, go ahead.
Well, I'm helping myself by cleaning up my premises because I love cleanliness.
You have to throw out your old fridge and your old stove. I have already done so with all of my old equipment and my old appliances.
I clean around by me. And anywhere there is that need a little volunteering, I don't mind that either.
When I go home now, I will have all them old galvanized and everything stove, all them old stove that I pack up all them old thing out.
I would put out my garbage in the night. Where my home is concerned, I would normally get someone to cut the surroundings, particularly now that the rainy season has started. So you cut your surroundings as often as you can.
I'm making sure that whatever garbage I have is placed in front of my home so that it will be available for them to pick up.
That's all for this edition of Let's Talk Tobago. Please send your comments or queries on anything you've seen in this program to information@tha.gov.tt, or you can even visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Davia Chambers. On behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. We'll see you next time at a location near you.